morning. It's Kirsten Liebelt. Come on in. How you doing? It is Thursday. Come on in. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, whatever you're drinking today. I've got my water with my aminos. What are you guys drinking today? I'd love to know. Listen, if you are just brand spanking new to my content, my name is Kirsten Liebelt. Put a 1 in the comment, by the way, if you're brand new, or if you're on the replay, put replay. But my name is Kirsten Liebelt, and I really help women over 40 who are insulin resistant get unstuck. That is the entire goal of everything that I do every single day. I want you to get unstuck. I'm 150 million% convinced that women are sliding into their 40s. They are insulin resistant. They do not know that they are, because maybe nobody has ever pulled a fasting insulin test on them. They're just waiting for your sugars to rise. But in the meantime, you cannot lose a pound to save your life. Maybe your meds are increasing, either in options and or dosages. And you're like, what's going on? Or maybe your bloat and your belly are like just freaking out of control. You're just like, what happened? Just what happened? My body is betraying me and I just feel different. And I can't seem to, I remember the moment that I was like, holy cow, I feel like I'm liquefying. Okay, I digress. We won't talk about that right away. However, every day we are here Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central. So like, just put a little reminder in your phone. This is literally the best daily encouragement kind of group coaching setting that you're probably going to find anywhere, where we can talk about how to turn back your insulin resistance, get the like results that you're looking for. I'll share testimonies. I'll share stories of my life. I do all of it. In the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. If you're not in there and you look it up, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, put your email in, tell them Kirsten sent you. And today we are doing day 4 of a 5-day challenge that we do every single month. So this is kind of like the tracks are being laid down for you so you can get on the train and go to your victory destination. That's what we do around here. Today I want to actually hold on, it's not Monday. Let me get my words about me. Today I want to talk about sleep and insulin resistance and how like lack of sleep in your life. This is, I've been having conversations with people again in the background. You guys like create my content. I don't know if you know that or not, right? But sleep is a big conversation, but it's blocking your fat loss. Like, I'm just so sorry to tell you that if you do not fix your sleep, it's one of the pieces to your Rubik's Cube. It's one of the pieces to your puzzle. Like, you have to get that shifted into place. You got to get that color on the one side, right? I never did like master that. So don't think I'm a Rubik's Cube aficionado, because I'm not. Peggy, good to see you. Oh, so good to see you. Very good. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, sweet lady Patty. Good to see you. California. Very, very good. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about. We just recently did in February, the masterclass that we did in February. It's free. It's in the group, in the featured section. It was a sleep masterclass. But there's still residual conversation being had with so many of you. You want just yet another, like maybe layer of understanding, or you're just trying to wrap your head around which path am I supposed to take, that kind of a thought process. Okay, so there you go. Jeanette, good morning. Good to see you. I love it when people that I haven't maybe seen their names in a while jump back on. Marla, good morning. Welcome to the party. Maryland, good morning. New York is in the house. I'm Minnesota. You guys parked the car. I know that's really bad, but just, grace for the person who's Minnesota. And all we do is like over enunciate our O's and don't you know? And we actually do walk past each other in a grocery store and go, oop. Oh, I'm just going to scoot right past you. Like in that movie, is it New in Town? Is that the one with Reese Witherspoon? I don't remember, but they always over exaggerate. They kind of go Canadian actually, but we're pretty close. So, all right, here we go. Let's jump into some information for you guys today. And again, I wanted it to be on sleep. And then I will, when I'm done with that, I am going to talk to you about how You can like shift the way that your body is working with supplementation. I always talk about the total body reset. I do have a free gift with purchase for new customers when I'm live. So like, don't go anywhere. If you've got some time, hang out and get yourself encouraged. And again, if you are brand new to my content, put a 1 in the comments. Let me know that you're brand new, because it helps me to know who my audience is to chat with you guys a little further. This show we've been doing for 2 years. So it's not our first rodeo around here, right? So there you go. All right. So we just did that full sleep master class. Go watch the replay if you really want kind of that in-depth thought process. But basically what I wanted to do was I just wanted to give you a little bit of a, like an overview. Okay. So oftentimes it's like you're waking up at 2 a.m. and you're thinking, oh, it's just insomnia. And you're like, oh, I just have insomnia. And it's probably actually not. There's a reason behind why things are happening in your body, right? But it's probably also why your belly fat won't budge. Like, it's one of those layers, you guys. It's super duper important. So sleep is not passive. It's not a passive thing that we do. It's actually when your metabolism is resetting. Things are happening while you sleep. It is like cellular regeneration, and it is liver detoxification, and it is resetting of your metabolism, okay? And remember, I always say, in fact, I did pull it up actually this morning. When I was pre-diabetic diagnosed in my early 50s, I myself was a 2X in size, okay? So this is me as a 2X in size at the beginning of my 50s. My sleep was messed up. Everything about me was messed up. I was one of the most upside down people you would have ever met. I was not functioning at a very high level. I needed transformation. I needed that. And you're here for a reason, right? You come because you're like, I need transformation as well. And I'll tell you, when you can kind of like get your brain around the fact that there's a few little tweaks that you can make that maybe nobody ever talked to you about, and you can find yourself with transformation, then basically you are able to have your own testimony of going from that 2X to I lost 3 sizes in my 50s and I've kept it off. But it's because I'm understanding the inside of my body better, which I had no clue about. But I've done the study now and I understand, and then I like implemented, and now I've kept it off. Okay, so fixing your sleep, that was one of the things that I was getting better at and better at and better at. And then 2 years ago, fully nailed it for me. Okay, so it was getting better and better, but then I did nail it. So hi, Joan, good morning. Good morning, Susan. Good to see you, Sue. Sunny Pose in Michigan. You have a lot of sun going on out in Michigan. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you. Happy to see you, Joan. Okay, so this is kind of how this goes then. Your body doesn't just sleep. It runs repair shifts. That's why, like when I show you, like on this is that dupe of that Oura ring, it'll tell you where your deep sleep was, where your light sleep was, where your REM was, blah, 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 because you've got little shifts going on during the night, okay? So night shifts, there we go. So your cortisol potentially needs to be reset. This conversation today is meant for you to identify what it is for you. So where do you fall? Because where you fall will tell you what you want to match up on the other side, like for supplementation, etc. Okay. So if from 10 to midnight, you are wired, you are scrolling, you get a second wind, you are training your brain to be alert at night. This is what I had to fix, was my cortisol. Okay. So that shift it's a cortisol rhythm. All right. That's what's happening right there. You got to have kind of like a cortisol rhythm, and cortisol that doesn't drop, never goes down, keeps your insulin elevated. And if you have high insulin, you can't burn fat. Okay. So welcome to my world. This is what can be so frustrating. So if you're wired at like that 10 to midnight time, okay, if When you are from midnight to 3 a.m., that's actually when your liver is beginning to repair. So you definitely want to be sleeping in a good sleep so that your liver can repair. The other piece of the puzzle is if your liver is sluggish, you cannot burn fat. So there you go. You can all go home now. That is, if your insulin is high, you can't burn fat. If your liver is sluggish, you can't burn fat. Now you have the secret to success. I'll help you figure it out. I'll tell you what to do about it. But that's literally what we're dealing with here. It's not rocket science. It's not a million steps. It is actually a very simplistic understanding towards transformation. And you know what? I just wanted to be normal in my head. You have to understand my own upbringing, right? There was disappointment if you were a 2X in size. There was a lot of disappointment. So for me, not being a 2X was being normal. Okay, so that's just me. I was looking for that transformation for myself. Okay. So your liver, this is what your liver does when it is repairing. Recycles your hormones, stabilizes your blood sugar, processes inflammation, supports your fat metabolism. Did you know that your liver is your fat metabolizing organ? Did you know that, right? If you are awake between midnight and 3, that's not random. Okay, that's not random. That's stress and blood sugar instability with a little bit of cortisol crossover. Okay, you tracking? So you cannot burn fat efficiently if your liver cannot complete a repair. And what if it's supposed to be repairing every single night? Like, what? Right? These are the things that we have to go, oh, okay. I need to work on that. Okay. All right. So I hope you're tracking now. 10 to midnight cortisol, midnight to 3 liver repair. Now let's go from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Okay. Insulin sensitivity reset. Insulin sensitivity reset. Growth hormone will pulse during 3 to 5 a.m. Your fat metabolism recalibrates. Raise your hand if you'd like your fat metabolism to recalibrate every single night that you sleep. Cellular repair happens. Is insulin resistance a cellular conversation? Yes, it is, because your cell is resistant to insulin. Thus, the need for insulin sensitivity. Okay, so from 3 to 5 a.m., insulin sensitivity reset. So fragment and sleep, incomplete reset. If you're like, you're all over the place 3 to 5 a.m., then you're waking up puffy. Is anybody waking up craving sugar? Anybody wake up with water retention or frustrated? You're just like, oh, another night where I just was not able to sleep and I feel kind of trashy. Does anybody wake up like that? That's just being unrepaired. That's not being broken. That's not insomnia. And now this is your new life because you're menopausal, you're postmenopausal, blah, 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 blah. Deal with it. This is what it means to get older. Negativo. No. Just because they tell us crap like that doesn't make it true. You actually can get to the point where you are sleeping really well and you are repairing. You can. Listen, nobody thought that more than me. Like, I was positive that I was never going to be able to fix my sleep. This is the way it was, blah, blah, blah. But I found transformation and then I implemented stuff. And now I'm like, yeehaw. If I have an average or a less than average night's sleep, that's not the norm. It happens. Of course it does. But it's just not the norm. And you want your norm to be restorative sleep, right? Okay. So most women think that if they just eat cleaner, they work harder, they try, just another Band-Aid, so to speak, that they'll finally see results. But if your nights are broken, your days actually kind of don't stand a chance. If your nights are really frustrating, and I've worked with a lot of ICU nurses and overnight shift nurses, people that have dementia parents that are up in the middle of the night. You have anything like that where your sleep is definitely hard to come by for a really good restorative night, right? This is like, oh, we have to figure that out, because you're like looking at your belly going, why does it keep growing? Why can't I burn any fat? It's like, you got to look at your sleep. Okay. So now we can get super strategic now. Okay. So let's do that. And if you have questions, let me know if you have questions while we're doing this, because tell me where you're waking up in the middle of the night. Are you wired at 10 to midnight? Are you waking up between midnight to 3? Are you waking up from 3 to 5? Where are you falling? Okay. And now I'm going to lay it out so that you can see clearly, it's not a one size fits all answer. Absolutely nobody should be. I'm not dissing on anybody, and I'm not going to shame anybody. If you've been around my content long enough, you know that doing your journey without shame is one of my core values. But you should not be in my opinion, you should not be dependent upon Benadryl, Tylenol PM, scripts, drinking. These things are actually they are paving the way for some pretty serious frustration. And that is not a long-term. I know it feels good in the moment because you just so desperately want to sleep, but we can actually fix a few other things. Number one, I always teach, listen, if you will fix your insulin resistance, your sleep will get better. It's one of the things I hear a lot. Not the most, I was going to say the most, but a lot from y'all. You're amazed at how your sleep got better. And that's probably because your sleep was being disrupted by blood sugar swings. And when you can stop your blood sugar swings, that's helping you to fix your sleep. And you're like, dang, I'm sleeping better. And I'm like, because you gave your body some balance. You gave your body some structure. And you didn't even know you were doing it, because metabolic dysfunction is messing up your sleep. But then your sleep that's messed up is trashing your metabolic function. Do you understand? It's like round and round and round we go. It's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. Okay. So hold on here. Let me just give you some practical stuff. So 3 to 5, Peggy says. Okay. So when we talk about that, 3 to 5 in the morning, that's when your fat metabolism recalibrates, your cellular repair happens, your growth hormone is pulsing at 3 to 5 a.m. All right, so hold on. I actually want to find a section here. Okay, I'm going to go back up to a different section because I really want to hit a few things that we talked about in our sleep masterclass so that this can make sense to you here. Let's give you some really streamlined thought process. Everybody's a little bit different in how you need to work with your own issues. Like that whole insulin sensitivity piece at 3 to 5 in the morning, that's probably more in alignment with what we talk about here. So Peggy, way to go, right? Like that means that what you're doing with the total body reset is really going to make a difference for you, right? So over time, your body, as you become more insulin sensitive, that window should get better for you, okay? In the meantime, sometimes people want to do a few other things, etc. But this is kind of how this works for you. If you have a very disrupted circadian rhythm, your nights are messed up a little bit because of all the things that I was just talking about. Maybe you work a night shift, maybe you have a dementia parent, you've got things going and maybe it's a newborn baby. Now that you can't really, I'm going to step away from that because if you're nursing, you have to take a completely different path anyway. And that's just life. It's season. But that popped into my head because of my daughter. But for the most part, if you are like, how you have a messed up circadian rhythm, melatonin might be an answer for you, okay? The first answer that really is for everybody, we talked about it yesterday. What did we talk about yesterday? We talked about magnesium, very specific kind of magnesium forms that will, when properly done, will help you with your sleep, help you with your nervous system, help you with everything. And I don't know one person I'm serious. Just like I talk about the total body reset, and I feel like it's for everybody because it's working on your liver, your gut, and your insulin. Like there's nothing that's not outside of the range of you have a liver, you have a gut, you have the hormone insulin. It's for everybody. Same thing with magnesium. There's not one person that would not benefit, in my opinion, of a really good blend magnesium to help with their sleep, with their nervous system, and the 300 functions that you need. So magnesium is the number one thing that I would recommend. First of all, I take 2 of those about an hour before bed. Okay. So everybody has the baseline magnesium. There you go. Now, your circadian rhythm is messed up. You might want to consider melatonin, but melatonin is not meant to be a long-term answer. Just like Tylenol PM or Benadryl or a script. These are not meant to be long-term answers. Melatonin is a hormone. And so your body just might be messed up with producing it. And that's where you do have to do things like you need to tell your body to go to sleep at night. That's why when we did the master class, gift with purchase on that weekend was I sent out these sleep masks, the one that I use, which is it's nice and like memory foamy right here. And it has little kind of like concave areas for your eyes. And when I put on a sleep mask, it tells my body it's time to sleep now. And I have a bright room, so I could put up room darkening curtains, but I don't. And something like that is really helpful. When you wake up in the morning, if your circadian rhythm is off, the first thing you should do is open your blinds and make your eyes look at the sky, like look at light, not directly at the sun. We all know that from the 3rd grade or the 5th grade. Don't look at the sun, but look at light. Tell your body it is time to wake up. Okay. Trying to get your melatonin to like come back to its regular cycle again. So I do have a melatonin sleep gummy. Some people grab that. Okay. Now, if you are having a hard time going to sleep, like you lay down and your brain races, just boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden you have like so much in your mind and you're like, you just can't shut down your mind. You're like, or you have a hard time staying asleep once you get asleep. You're like, and you finally go to sleep and then you wake up again and you're just like racing it. That's where I have a blend that is a valerian and hops, kind of stinky. Keep them in your fridge. That will help your mind to, you'll take 3 of those. And this is actually my favorite. This is what I was doing before the one that I do now. And I'm not going to lie, I loved it. And I wasn't looking for another solution. I was doing fine with my magnesium and my valerian and hops. It's called Sleep Health on the website. Okay. I was doing great with those 2. I love that feeling. This is me now. I love the feeling of going, and it just kind of makes you kind of come down. It like closes the windows of your computer, closes all those little slots, and you're like, and I like the feeling of that. That's what that Sleep Health will do for you. And then it should help you to sleep longer. Okay. That's what that one is. If you have a racing mind, the 3rd option that I have. So the sleep gummy is melatonin. That's called Sweet Dreams. That is for the person who you need to reset your circadian rhythm. You're just messed up. Second one is you can't close down you've got way too many tabs open on your laptop. You have too many tabs open on your computer and your brain is like, that's the Sleep Health. Okay. And then the last one, it does not make you tired. The melatonin does, and the Sleep Health does. This one does not make you tired, but it's helping you if you're like me with your cortisol, because maybe you're running higher cortisol. That was me. I didn't even know it. So you could do magnesium and melatonin, magnesium and Sleep Health, or magnesium and ashwagandha. And that's my favorite. I didn't know that was going to be such a help to me. Again, it does not make you tired. You could take ashwagandha whenever you want. During the day, it's not like, makes me drowsy. It's working on your internal system of cortisol so that you are more regulated, so that you're not in the middle of the night. Cortisol all of a sudden rises and you're like, I'm awake. I'm awake. That's what was happening to me. I was like, and then immediately my mind would go into like, okay, I need to do this and this and this and this and the, and I didn't even know. And it wasn't happening all the time. It was happening intermittently. It got better when I started taking the sleep health, remember? Okay, so I was taking that with the magnesium. It got better, but it was still happening maybe once a month. Worst month, maybe twice a month. It was still happening. And I'm like, why is this still happening? But I never made the connection. So if you don't make connections either, welcome to my club. I wasn't thinking about that. So they launched the ashwagandha like 2 years ago. And I'm like, well, this is what I do is I test products for my people. So I'm just going to test it. And the first thing that I noticed with ashwagandha was I felt a sense of well-being restored to my body. I was like, well, I didn't realize that was cortisol balancing in me. I'm like, I just like how I feel balanced. I feel like, like there was something I didn't know that needed to kind of be just put back into place. Okay. Like a chiropractic adjustment on my inner well-being. And then my sleep over time started to just get better and better and better. Peggy, so the sleep health, you ordered the gummy to try. Yep. I know, Peggy, isn't that something? I'm glad that you tried. So nothing, did it at least shut down the tabs in your brain? I'd like to know that, if it did that. I like the feeling. I love that feeling. But isn't that interesting? Everybody is so different. This is why your gift of assessment for yourself is so important. It is so important. Like you have to assess your own world. And I know that that can be really hard. Good morning, Megda. I pray you are doing well today, Megda, darling. I really do. Hello, Shannon. Patty, I go to bed at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every morning. She says, you're just making everybody jealous, Patty. That's what you're doing. That's so funny. Jody, good morning. Not having your cell phone nearby. I'm not good at that either. I know. See, I have stuff to fix too. I do. I definitely have things that I need to fix too. But my sleep is good. And actually, one of the things to remember is going to bed at the same time is not as important as waking up at the same time every single morning. And that is very interesting, that kind of science, because it is telling your body to wake up, to have your cortisol rise, because that's what happens when you wake up. Your cortisol rises, your body starts to like rise up, and that's why you're supposed to look at daylight, blah, blah, blah. And whether or not you go to bed, like your normal time, or maybe you got waylaid because of, a schedule or something, still set your alarm for that same time. That's one of the tricks that we gave in the masterclass that we found out. I don't remember who the source was, so I apologize because I don't remember the source on that one. But it's like scientifically backed on that one. But anyway, so if you're having a hard time sleeping, let's pretend that you already are taking some of the total body reset or whatever. You could either grab, so Patty's saying she takes the magnesium an hour before bed. Oh, yep. Because you can't keep your eyes open. Yes, I understand. So Marilyn, see, isn't this interesting, Peggy? Marilyn loves the sleep health. Sleep health really helps you shut down. Love it. My sleep is a work in progress, but I think that pain has a lot to do with it. Pain does have a lot to do with it. It does. What kind of pain is it, Marilyn? Because maybe it's, I don't know, you might benefit from the turmeric. And I will tell you, the turmeric, most turmerics are not bioavailable. They don't get into your system. It's actually not really absorbed very well. So when they went into herbal trials and they worked on, scientifically creating something that will absorb. They are using extracts for that, the curcuminoids. And basically what they're doing is it's 45 times more absorbable than other turmerics that are on the market. So like maybe you've tried a turmeric and you're like, yeah, that doesn't do anything for me. Well, you might want to just give this one a run and see what you think. And I do take 2 of those every single night. And the reason why I do that is because when the professional came in, the expert came in and he was talking to us about that. Again, when you go back to your sleep is not passive. Your sleep is supposed to be restorative and cellular renewal and liver detoxing and metabolism resetting and fat metabolism resetting, all of these things that are supposed to happen. He's like, his recommendation was take your 2 magnesium, take your 2 turmeric, take your 2 ashwagandha, go to bed, like let your body do what it's supposed to do, etc. And so there are just things that I have followed from that. And that particular turmeric does say that it helps with pain. And most supplementations will never, ever, 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 ever use the P word because you have to really be able to prove something on that. Back pain, taking turmeric. Okay, so it is the best. Okay, Marilyn, you are taking that. All right, well, are you taking the magnesium, Marilyn? Because it has the malate in it, which helps with like body cramps and stuff like that too. But anyway, so those are your sleep options. If you need to add something, those are your 3 options. Magnesium for everybody, but either the sleep health, the sweet dreams for the melatonin, the sleep health for the stinky herbs, or the ashwagandha. Okay. And then I'm going to chat about the total body reset, because if you do not get, you guys, if you do not get your insulin resistance under control, if you do not make your body deliver you a different result, the reason why you're having bad sleep is there is a reason why you're having bad sleep to begin with. It's a flag. It's not supposed to be normal. We should not be running around telling each other, well, we just get older. I remember working a job and I was in my early 40s and there was a lady who was in her 60s. She was my age, probably like almost exactly, I bet. And she would come in every day and her eyes were so bloodshot and she was so tired all the time. And I literally remember thinking to myself, I bet that's just like when you're postmenopausal. I bet you just don't sleep anymore. Huh, bummer. And that's what I took from that. And that's not true. That's not true. We're not supposed to think that way. Turmeric hurts your digestion, Shannon says. Good to know. That's good to know. You've tried 3 types brands. Yep. Good amounts of magnesium. Very good. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? That is so interesting. Everybody's a little different, aren't they? And ashwagandha, if you are on, okay, what was the med? You're not supposed to take ashwagandha if you're on a certain med. It's okay for hypothyroidism, not hyperthyroidism. Oh, if you are on antipsychotics. That is true. And I've always known that. Antipsychotics of any kind, adaptogenic herbs, be careful and ask your doctor. Okay. All right. So the total body reset, this is how we're basically resetting our insulin resistance for people who are SSRI. Sue says, yep, there you go. For people who are looking for transformation, and I don't know what you're looking for. If you're looking to have your weight shift, your meds, your doctor's appointments, etc. But insulin resistance all by itself is a trunk of a tree, a base that gives you all of these negative results that you're trying to get rid of. And sometimes you're going to many different doctors to try to get rid of them. Sometimes you're trying different programs to get rid of them. Sometimes you're trying all just sorts of like, you've got a lot of noise going on, maybe a lot of different people talking in your ear about how to do things. Most programs are absolutely not made for an insulin resistant person. This is just the world we live in now. We're one moment we're being marketed to about food being healthy, but it really doesn't apply to an insulin resistant person. Another moment we're being marketed to by a program for food that, like maybe a celebrity is pitching or whatever, but that program wasn't made for somebody who is insulin resistant. So we need to deal with your liver, your gut, and your insulin. And this is how you end up getting different results, right? I could be a holistic doctor. Well, I would have to go to school for a very long time to do that, wouldn't I? Certainly not opposed to, I've thought about it, you guys, not that, but I've thought about certifications and whatnot. And I have my reasons for working through that and coming to different decisions, just to let you know. So some of the testimonials that have come in really recently, is somebody that was saying that her A1C has decreased from a 6.2 to a 5.7. She's a customer of mine. And she just said, you can add me to your collection of nurses. I love this so much. I'm doing well. I have lost weight, which this was just the other day. Yeah, yesterday, March 4th. I've lost weight, which is amazing to me. I have been diagnosed, and maybe you're that way too. What? I actually lost weight? What? She goes, that's amazing to me. I've been diagnosed with prediabetes, but following your advice, my A1C has decreased from a 6.2 to a 5.7. Thank you for advocating for us. That is one of the testimonies most recent. Another one is, I spent so long trying to figure out how to manage my insulin resistance. There is so much noise out there and it can be overwhelming and hard to understand. I'm a chemist with a background in biochemistry. This is probably Sue. See, this will match up, Sue. She says, Kirsten is such a good educator and explains the real science in an easy way to understand. I've been lurking in her group and on her live videos for months. See, I tell you guys this stuff, don't I? I tell you this. And she really knows her stuff. And I'm just going to tell you, like, when we talk about people like Terry and, losing weight at 62, 50 pounds, and Claudette, 74, lost 45 pounds, and all this stuff, this is not about age. This is not about menopause, postmenopause, blah, blah, blah. I understand things are shifting, but there's this little component in there called insulin resistance. And when you have high insulin, you can't burn fat. And it's going to keep on storing your belly fat, storing your belly fat, storing your belly fat until you shift how your body is functioning. So when I was my 2X in size, right, I basically had to make the decision that I was going to do something different. So this was me at my 2X in size, okay, beginning of my 50s. That's one picture. I have lots of pictures that I really love. Wink, wink. Here's one that I really love. Wink, wink. Okay. So 2X in size, 50 years old, pre-diabetic. Okay. I'm Italian, that I could trade and change anything with my food for sure. So I started with supplementation. And then I was studying people like Maria Emmerich, Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Philip Ovadia, Eric Berg. I started to study and understand how my body is supposed to function because my dad did such a poor job. He was given a poor path that ended up in him dying at 63. And all he did was he just increased all of his meds over his 50s. Another med, here a med, there a med, everywhere a med. That was my dad's life in his 50s. He felt like crap for a decade and then he died. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not interested in that. Like, that wasn't a really good path. So I started with these 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. The Total Body Reset has 6 pieces. One of these is for your liver, right there, that yellow one, that's for your liver. And then we've got some insulin, sugars, and metabolism. The 4th piece is for your liver. This is that gut primer that we talk about every day. I already had mine for this morning. You can try to piece together the 5 million ingredients that are in here. There are 6 blends, and each blend has probably 10 or more ingredients. So you can decide that, right? But it's very green tea smelling. It's like if somebody likes matcha, I believe there might even be a little matcha in here. There is matcha tea leaf powder is in here. You'll see everything is organic, all the spirulina and all of the good, blends, etc. The organic kale, everything is freaking amazing, right? Okay. So all in one, done for you. This is me and how I like my world. I am never going to be that person that goes to the Whole Food store and buys all of the produce and all of the everything that I need and cook it up. And some people like to do that. They want to put everything into a juicer. They want to put everything into a smoothie. That's just not me. I'm very, if love languages, I sneeze, if love languages had an option, excuse me, and it was called function, that would be my love language. This to me is function. Like, put it in some water, froth it up, drink it, done. That's me. So welcome to my world again, right? So this is what you're looking for when it comes to your gut, your gastrointestinal primer. So I think it's no secret that we have a lot of issues with our digestive systems. We aren't digesting food well. A lot of us have had our gallbladder. I have not, but a lot of people have had your gallbladders removed. Maybe you're dealing with a lot of really unstable bathroom habits. And that is very like discomforting. There's a word there for me. It's frustrating to say the least. There's a word, discontent. It's not that word. It'll come to me. But you know what? It's very disconcerting. It's disconcerting to hear you've got diarrhea, then you're constipated, then you're out and you're trying to find a place to stop. And there are some people that I've been with that are like, I just need to go home because you just don't feel comfortable because your bathroom habits are unstable. And it's kind of disconcerting that way. Like you feel like, you know what? Doggone it. Well, what you don't know is that what's underlying all of that is there's a lot of inflammation going on in your gut. Your liver is not clearing your insulin. Your liver is not clearing your estrogen and your cortisol, and it's not able to do the job. Your bile is thick and sluggish, and you're not going to burn fat if you do not fix that. It's just the reality. It is your fat metabolizing organ, just like insulin is your fat storing hormone. You're not going to change the way that your body functions from the design of it, but you have to change the way that it functions from the overuse or the not taking care of it. Does that make sense? You have to find that balance between being like, okay, I haven't changed the oil in my liver for 100,000 miles. I should probably do something about it. Okay. So if you can't clear your insulin, because you have high insulin from what you've eaten, from your stress, from your lack of sleep. And if you don't deal with your insulin, you can't burn fat. Help your liver. And then you're going to help your liver one more time. 50% of the total body reset is for your liver. That should make everybody very excited. So those three, this is 4. Number 5 is 5 and 6. I have the fat burner, right? This is for your visceral fat. This is your probiotic with your 5 live strains. Okay. So you're recalibrating your gut. And you know what? There are people that do pieces of this, right? So you could think in terms of good, better, best. Some people only want to do the fat burner. They're like, I'm just going to do this for 90 days. And I'm going to measure under my boobs and my waist and my hips, because I know she tells me it's going to like help me burn that visceral fat that's underneath my muffin top. It's like my whole trunk all the way down to your hips. It's that whole trunk area. And some people want to just start there. Some people want to do a gut reset, and you want to do the primer and the probiotic, but then the total body reset, all 6 pieces. This kind of unlocks a lot of stuff. That's why a lot of you do it. And then if you purchase, I'm on live right here, I will send you a free full-size product. I'll explain that to you in just a second. So there are different starting points for different people and what you're trying to accomplish, right? And so you should never walk away confused. You should only walk away with that matches what I'm looking to accomplish. That matches, because I will tell you, when we start talking about testimonials, when we start talking about people who are winning in this thing called turning back insulin resistance, and all of a sudden they're getting the results that they were looking for all along, people get pretty dang excited about finally having an answer. And it's not just 1 or 2, it's hundreds of women saying, finally, somebody addressed the core root cause issue that was actually holding me back. I would never still have my weight off if it was not for the clicks that I made by learning how my body works. Because now I'm like, oh. And when you have knowledge like that, it's code. You got the code. You unlocked the safe for yourself. This is your long-term transformation. I'm not going to take credit for you, what you're doing, the work you're doing. But I sure am glad that I get to be your tour guide. I sure am glad. You're going to order today, Sue. That's amazing. Sue, you're on the Total Body Reset. Are you on the Total Body Reset? Let me know. Inconvenient. Thank you, Jody. That could have been very perfect. Can you take with blood thinners? Charlie Brown. I love that. This is a very good question. Hold on. Let me just think for a second. Is there anything that would conflict with blood thinners? Somebody who's on a blood thinner, let me know. If there's anything in the Total Body Reset that if you're taking the Total Body Reset, let me know if there's something that you know, because that's a dang good question. And you do want to make sure, especially when I'm talking about things like adaptogenic herbs, you have to be very careful when you're on blood thinners. That is the one thing that really does block people. Oh, but now isn't that hypothyroid, Susan? Isn't synthroid? Because I feel like I've read that it's okay with hypo, but not hyper. Anyways, Sue, you're already on the Total Body Reset and you're going to reorder today. That is perfect. That is wonderful, Sue. Very good. And if you have questions about anything else that I recommended, so hold on. Total Body Reset after 2 weeks. I'm losing weight in my stomach. My digestion is better. My cravings are going away. I can tell when I am actually hungry, not just craving sugar. 90 days, because I always talk to you guys about a 90-day reset. Let me tell you about why you want to think that way, because you're going to get $75 off. Let me tell you about that. But 90 days, lost 20 pounds, 3 inches off her bust, 2 inches off her waist, and 2.5 inches off her hips. Another 90 days, lost 16 pounds. Her A1C went from a 6.5 down to a 5.1. Understand that correlation. Are you getting that correlation? There is this insulin resistance, your high insulin hormone, your high sugars, and the fact that you cannot lose a pound to save your life. And I have people who have said, but wait a second, I got my A1C down, but I'm still stuck. That was actually a recent one, but I've had it many times before, but I'm still stuck. And then all of a sudden they start the Total Body Reset. Let's see, what's this recent one? She started it in January. She's been the same weight since September, even though she got her A1C down. And she's so freaking excited because she's lost 4 pounds. And I'm trying to remember the rest of her story. I don't remember right now. But do you understand? Because it can kickstart you. Because you just have to get that one step to get your insulin down a little further. Blood sugar and insulin are two separate things. They are two separate things, right? Okay. You can take the ashwagandha with hypothyroid. That's what I was thinking, Patty. Thank you. Thank you. Now, if you are a brand new customer, this is where I want you to hang on for just a second. I'm going to just explain to you how you can get $75 off. Many women are already doing it, but you're also going to get a free full-size product when you order, and I'm on live, okay? And I have a reason for doing that. But there's a customer campaign for people who are registered customers. Don't check out as a guest ever. It's a bad idea. When you are registered, you actually unlock free shipping opportunity and the customer campaign. The customer campaign says that when you purchase $150 or more 3 months in a row, you get $75 off that third order. They will erase it for you. You don't have to be on subscribe and save or an auto ship or anything like that. They'll erase it for you. Many of you have already done 3 months after 3 months after 3 months after 3 months. You've done it for a full year. You've saved $300 this last year just by doing that alone. it's a phenomenal opportunity to be paid back for your wellness journey. I don't know of any other program like this at all. 6-month guarantee on all the products. So there's zero risk. In my opinion, there's zero risk ever because it's 6-month guarantee. Anyway, but there is one of these 6. All of a sudden now, like a Sesame Street song comes to my head. How does this happen? Like from when we were little kids, which one of these doesn't belong? Okay, this is what comes to my head. Oh my goodness gracious. Anybody else have music come to your head? Oi. Okay, so out of the 6, this one is actually getting reformulated. This is for your glucose and your insulin, and it's being reformulated, and it's going to be pulled in April. But right now you can still get it, I think, unless you're on the West Coast. Okay, so you're going to get this in your Total Body Reset, but then I'm going to send you a full-size bottle as your backup as a new customer when you order when I'm on live like this, okay? And the question then is going to be, well, how do we do this? Well, I'll show you. Make it easy for you. Right here. Up at the top, I'll put KirstenLiebelt.com. That's my website. If you're just like, you know what, I don't want to order right now, but I want information, that's okay. Like, did you hear? I've been following you for 3 months. This happens to me all the time. It's okay. Like, you need to get the information that you need. You don't have to like choose to have, urgency on your journey or urgency because I'm giving away a free product. You don't have to feel that way. Some people want to, though. You're like, okay, now she's giving away a free product and I want to jump in on that. Perfect. Then do that if that matches you. But here's my website, okay? And the reason why I want to give you that free glucose health is, number one, what I have done for the last couple of years as it has gone in and out of inventory, I have inventoried it in my home. And so I had to order more for this, for what I'm doing for you. I ordered more. And I want you to have that backup. Because yes, I will transition, and I'm testing something right now. It is not going to be through this line because I need to fill that gap for you. While they're reformulating, that's kind of a couple-year process. Like, it's not a short process. They do herbal trials. Everything has to be literally just so. That's the way it has been for the 15 years that I have been in business. It's just the way that it is. I paused due to poor connection on my Instagram. And so it's going to take a while. So I will have a backup. But if you're a brand new customer and you order through my website today while I'm on live, then I'm just going to go ahead and come back here then and tell me that you ordered live. Let me know. I will send you your own bottle, a free bottle. Okay. If you are already a Total Body Reset customer, I do recommend that you just stock up. I do. Like, make it easy on yourself, right? I think that the one that I have is going to be, I have to check the price, but it is going to be a tiny bit more expensive, but not a lot. That was obviously something I was taking into consideration when I was researching. But if you go to KirstenLiebelt.com, it's at the top of on Facebook and YouTube. This is what it looks like, okay? And if you feel like I've talked too fast, I explained it too fast, that second button is the Total Body Reset. And when you touch on that, there's the cart. But here's a 9-minute video that I did explaining it so that you can slow down and take the time that you need to understand why this is shifting the way your body is functioning to get the results. I mean, the testimony after testimony after testimony, okay? And then there's a bunch of free resources. Here's my story all typed out, etc. Some testimonials. In the group today, also, in Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, I will do a deeper dive into supplementation, kind of across the board. So you might want to be there. That's at 1 p.m. Central today. That's in an hour and 5 minutes. I'll be in there just to let you know. But sometimes people want a little bit more information. However, all you have to do is go to my site, KirstenLiebelt.com. And if you don't want to buy right now, but you want more information, you can put TBR in the comments, Total Body Reset. And if you're on Facebook or YouTube, I will see that and I'll be able to answer that for you. If you're on Instagram, it's going to go away after the live is done. So you have to if you do and I see it, I'll screenshot it and then I'll come back and talk to you. But again, total body reset is right there, second button. Okay. Once you're looking like at the cart and all of the products in one place, go to the top of the page. There's a person icon, like a little head and shoulders. Click on that and register with your name so that you can unlock everything we just talked about. Like, don't leave money on the table. Don't miss out on free shipping. Get the customer campaign, like do the things, right? And give yourself permission for the journey. I think that's the hardest part. Finding a website, we all know how to shop online. We all know how to be like, oh, I got a text and there's a sale for my favorite shoes or whatever. And we just go boom, 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 boom. Ordering isn't the hard part. Giving yourself permission for the journey is the hard part. And sometimes it's because we've tried so many things in the past and we're like, we don't feel deserving of another chance. We don't feel deserving of just another opportunity to figure this out. Like, girl, you've done this forever. What makes you think this time is going to be any different? And I feel like that has been my entire journey of needing to give myself permission because nobody else was going to. I actually had to bet on me. And that's in business. And that's also in my health. I had to bet on myself. And I finally was like, you know what? If I don't figure this out, I'm going to be in the same direction as my dad, where he just kept on adding more medications to his world. And then his type 2 diabetes was just rampant, right? It ended up with all of the issues that you're already dealing with. So insulin resistance leads to type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure and anxiety and insomnia, if that's what you want to call it, right? Leaky gut and PCOS and fatty liver. And like, what else do you want to turn around? That's why I get so like, follow me in my stories. If you want to see testimonies on a regular basis, if you're like, gosh, this is super interesting, follow my stories because I'll post more testimonies there that you can pause and you can read and you're like, oh my gosh, she has an MRI of her fatty liver that got better. Oh my gosh, her A1C, she's off 10 meds. Like, what is happening? And that's where you can take whatever time your brain needs or whatever time your permission requires, because you're giving yourself permission for a journey. Terry sent me that text. Was it yesterday? And Terry said, basically, happy 2-year anniversary to me. And she's so happy that she took this journey, right? Because she basically gave herself permission to fix her world. She said, it's now been 2 years since I began to work on my insulin resistance and turning my health around. No, 2 years, right? Not 2 weeks, not 2 months, 2 years. But you know what? That time's going to pass anyway. It's 2026. You're going to freaking blink and it's going to be 2028. You're literally going to blink. Where will you be, right? Since 2 years since I began working on my insulin resistance and turning my health around, I've learned so much and I can never thank you enough for the support and information and other success tools I've received through your content. Just like everyone else, life has handed me some obstacles along the way. I don't walk this journey perfectly and continue to assess what my body needs, but at 63, I know I have the keys and confidence to keep going. Thank you again for all you do. Helps others find their health again. Much love to you. Okay. So that's Terry. What you may not know about Terry is that when she was 62, she started with her food trade outs. She came across my content and went, well, what is this total body reset? She's taught, what is this now? She started doing that in about 8 months. I think it was 8 months. She lost her 50 pounds and then now continued her journey. And it's been 2 years now, and she's kept it off that entire time. So what do you want your story to be? Do you want your story to be that you lost weight and then you gained it back again because you just put on another Band-Aid? You just tried another system that was being marketed to you with maybe a celebrity? I don't know. Or do you want root cause understanding, root cause wellness? Oh, my liver is my fat metabolizing organ. If I support my liver, I can maybe burn some fat. Oh, insulin is a fat storing hormone. Okay, I got to get my insulin down. I got to pay attention to that. If I can get my insulin down, I can burn fat. Like maybe you want that understanding so that long when I'm gone and I'm not, I don't mean, okay. I don't mean that. I mean, like, we've been doing this for 2 years. How long do we do that? I don't know. I'm in, right? But I'm just saying, like, I want 5 years from now for you to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that 5 years ago I came across that Kirsten lady and she taught me about root cause wellness. I'm so glad because now I feel like I have like the cheat code. I have a cheat code for how to like lose my weight and actually keep it off. And you're probably going to say something like this, because this is what I would say. Took me a little longer than I thought it was going to take. But holy crap, am I happy? Am I glad that I had ears to hear and I implemented? So like when we do our 5-day challenge in the group, like we've been doing this week, I do all of the ingredient trade outs, how to view your pantry. We did this yesterday. We did pantry and refrigerator reveal, little tour of mine, so that you can get an understanding how you get to still be your own foodie. You get to still be your own whatever. And you're just changing out the ingredients that are messing up your system, that are keeping you in the pickle. And you're trying to get out of that insulin resistance land. You're trying to back out. But it's so possible. It's so doable. You guys sending me testimony after testimony after testimony because you're like, oh, I get it. Liver, gut, I get it. Insulin, sugar. Okay. And all of a sudden, you're not just taking whatever you sampled at, the warehouse. You're not taking whatever was at the drugstore that you saw on the shelf while you were waiting to pick up your prescription. Now you're like, okay, permission and strategy. Permission and strategy. I am actually going to freaking turn this around, and I am not going to be on meds. I am not going to be whatever it is. I was pre-diabetic. I'm the only person in my family that has avoided type 2 diabetes. It should not have been me. It should not have been. I was gestational diabetic with my first baby. He was 9 pounds, 13 ounces. He was a big boy because that's what gestational diabetes does, right? It's crazy. So who has questions as we wrap up today? I'd be more than happy to answer anything that you have before we go. Otherwise, I am going to see you in the group in like 55 minutes. And today what we're doing is we're doing a deep dive into supplementation. And that is obviously one of the best ways for you to have further understanding how to get your body to deliver you a different result. What happens is we kind of have like this really sluggish system that's not working and clearing properly. And we have to get it to like finally have your motherboard firing on all cylinders, so to speak. And then you can get a completely different result. That's how that works. So if there's not any questions, then I'm going to jump and I'm going to get ready for the party. If you need any information, you can always put TBR in the comments for the total body reset. Or if there's any sleep conversation, you can definitely put sleep and I'll ask you like, what are you needing fixed first? Or, like, what is it? Just put sleep in the comments and I will absolutely jump and then talk to you about that. And maybe we can like customize it for you so that you feel like you at least have a chance. That's always a good thing. So anyway, have such a great day, you guys. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. And I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time right here. Margaret, I see your comment on sleep. I will help you with that. Yeah, I'll be back here at 11 a.m. Central. So see you tomorrow. Have a good day.